Howdy, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today we're going to talk about hard drive failures. I've lost 3 drives because of this. So it's important that I get this out there. Um, First of all, there's a backstory to this. If you go to the blog, do a search on hard drive here. Two things, but the one primarily you want to look for if you're interested in this is if you go attention, which is ATT colon hard drive failure on Linux desktop. So there you'll find, like I said, a backstory on 2 drives that have been lost because of this. Now I've just lost the third one. The third one is a Seagate network drive, brand new, died within 6 weeks. And there's another article you may be interested in on the blog called Who Knows About This Hard Drive Linux Cloning Software called Clonezilla. Now, if you take a look at this, oh, by the way, if you're interested in this sort of stuff, come on over to the quantlab/book. Get all some free tech stuff. Just fill in your info. All info is kept private, and we'll definitely get you all hooked up. You'll also get added to my daily newsletter on what I've been working on. So back to the story here. So hard drive failures. We got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. So if you follow what I've been doing for the last pretty well year, you'll know there are different ways to store data when you download it from any market. People will use a database and store it in a database. Some people will use flat files like text files or CSVs in my case, comma separated valued files. What I've been running once we go live, everything's working using, if you have taken the course, the Python. I'm referring to the CCXT package in Python, doing a simple download from the market. I'm downloading a lot every minute, and we're talking 20, maybe 20 different downloads every minute for when I turn on the thing, the bot to go live. We're doing that 24/7, so it's nonstop. So that's a lot of disk I/O when you download stuff because you're downloading and then writing to a drive. No matter what the drive, it's only has so many I/Os, inputs, outputs that they allow on the drive. So if you want to kill a drive real fast, you go ahead and you do that, what I just suggested, and you'll kill your drive. It doesn't matter on the drive, it'll happen. And that's what's been happening over the last uh, pretty well beginning of the year. As I said, 3 drives have been lost now. I never really thought about it until this. So you could still kind of do it for back testing, downloading the data, back test it. That's all fine and good. But if you're trying to do the same concept to go live, you may over time kill off your drive. So not recommended. So there are some solutions out there. Show my elite program. I have a course here called Interactive Brokers API Workshop Bootcamp. I think this course will be very, very, very useful for anybody who's going to be following what I'm doing with MotiveWave because it's all in Java. I will be using Interactive Brokers as my preferred broker, as I posted earlier as well. So this will be very useful. But this course has some really good demos on building out message queues between your market where you download the data from and then store it into a database like Redis. Because what you're doing is you're calling an API via REST protocol, and then that's over the net, over the internet. So you download the data, but you have to store the data somewhere. So in this case, using these techniques that I show you here, I'm showing you how to download the data and store it in a database like Redis, and then do all your accessing of the data through the database. So you are no longer using the data or your hard drive for the repository of that real market data when you turn on your system. So when you store the data in a database like Redis, what happens is you're reducing all that input-output I/O on the drive, all the unnecessary writes to preserve the drive. So there's different ways you can do it by doing all these different patterns within Redis where you can do a pub sub, like a publisher subscriber. You can also do these L push L range techniques and all kinds of other different techniques through Redis. So if you want to learn how to do all that, I would recommend you go through these different modules in the Interactive Brokers API workshop as a workaround, and then you could probably use the Python the Python package Redis, which again I talked about in the Python course, to substitute instead of downloading the data and then writing it to your hard drive, because you'll preserve your hard drive. Very, very important stuff. So I'm just letting you know about that. If you've been following me, the other big thing is I'm using actual the trading platform MotiveWave to preserve all this stuff in the platform, because I'm going to let the platform do all the heavy lifting, because all the necessary plumbing's there. But at the same time, I can have my strategies from within MotiveWave talk to Redis, my Redis repository or database, and push data back and forth through a message queue. So that's my intention of what I'm going to do. And I'll be demonstrating that as I'm learning MotiveWave more and more to take advantage of that. So just so everybody knows that, just want to put that out there. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.